A traditional Slovak Easter. What do Slovaks do for Easter? What are the traditions? Are they modern or are they kind of from an older generation? Well, let's see. As I mentioned in the previous video, over Easter I was really sick with the flu. I was coughing a lot, so I didn't really want to post any videos. I wanted to talk about the Slovak Easter and what their tradition is and what they do and how they celebrate it, because Slovakia is a predominantly Christian country, and they have a unique tradition. And well, I thought we would get into it. So for this first part, I'm going to read through this article that I found that was posted in January of this year, 2023. And then after I read through this and kind of give some commentary, I'm going to ask Adzka her thoughts about Slovak Easter. So let's get into the article. So as we can see here, traditional Slovak Easter, it says, Easter is a feast full of various customs and traditions all over the world. Decorating and collecting eggs is undoubtedly the most common activity during this time. However, there are also many interesting and extraordinary traditions, and we think that ours in Slovakia deserves your attention. The time has come to have a look at Slovak customs. So real quick before I get into it, I just want to mention that from an American perspective, as a kid, the Easter tradition is that on Sunday, you go to a family member's house. There's a lot of food, like maybe ham and some veggies and things like that. But the big thing that you do is you paint eggs, and then once you're done painting the eggs and like decorating them all nice, then the adults take those eggs and they hide them maybe in the backyard somewhere, like behind like rocks or bushes or just in hiding spots. And then you as a kid have to go out in the backyard and go find them. So that's kind of what we did as kids. But let's see how the Slovak Easter might be different. So they have a quote here saying, someone would say, do not visit Slovakia during Easter. Women are whipped and splashed with water by men who get money and sweets in return. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? Are you asking why men would do something like that to women? Let me explain. So it sounds very old-fashioned, for sure. Maybe, some of these traditions might be seen as outdated to some, but let's go ahead and see. So they say, in fact, in Slovakia, Easter is the most significant Christian holiday. That's why most of our traditions are connected with religion. We start celebrating Easter on Palm Sunday and end on Easter Sunday. For each day of that week, we have different traditions and activities. We also celebrate Death Sunday, which is not included in Easter week. In the past, people used to make morena, a cloth doll impaled on a stick, symbolizing winter. To ensure the arrival of spring, people killed a doll by ignition and drowning in a lake. Okay. Nowadays, we still celebrate this day, but only as symbolic. So, first day is the Palm Sunday. This is the day of utmost importance when it comes to Easter, as it marks the beginning of the Holy Week. The literal translation of Slovak expression for Palm Sunday is Flower Sunday, due to the rituals performed on this day. The ceremonial arrival of Jesus Christ at Jerusalem is reminded by decorating churches and temples with flowers and blooming osiers. Osiers are consecrated with prayer, incense, and holy water. To protect the house from lightning, people used to put osiers behind the paintings. And then we have this wonderful picture of eggs and the osier. So that is the Sunday before Easter Sunday, so a week before. Then we have Green Thursday. I remember this, kind of. Green Thursday is the beginning of the Easter Triad, the last 3 days of the Holy Week. We commemorate the last dinner of Jesus and the designation of Eucharist. There is no use of bells during the Mass, only clappers and flaps. The typical color for the robe of the priest is green. Moreover, the menu of the day shall be green as well. Hence, spinach and other green foods are frequently served in many households in Slovakia. According to the tradition, Slovak girls washed in the stream in belief that they would be clear, without freckles, and their hair would grow faster. Because of course they thought that. Good Friday is a commemoration of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. On this day, we keep a strict fast, refraining ourselves not only from meat but also alcohol. As long as you don't break your fasting, you won't be thirsty in summer. The first healing herb is ready to be collected on Good Friday. Therefore, people associated this day with the reappearance of the riches of nature. Now, I would recommend on Good Friday to just not eat anything, not just saying meat or alcohol, but like don't eat anything. I mean, maybe some people don't go that far, but that's what I would personally do. As a recurrent symbol of vitality and revival, water also appears in the traditions related to Good Friday. For example, ill people were showering in the stream, boys dived and tried to catch small stones with their mouths open to ease teeth pain. If they caught the stones, they would then throw them behind themselves by the left hand. Whew. Girls, on the other hand, girls used to brush their hair under the willow tree and weave pieces of bark into it in a vision for healthy looking and long hair. A lot of things having to do with hair, looking healthy, growing faster. Okay. Then we have Holy Saturday. The last day of the Holy Week is Holy Saturday, the climax of Easter. Christians meditate upon Jesus' suffering and death beside his grave. They await the resurrection of Christ until the sunset when the Holy Mass takes place. Following the religious rituals of this day, people celebrate the resurrection of Christ by breaking the fast. The foods served this evening include ham, eggs, roast pork, and in some parts of Slovakia also lamb. Now that sounds very delicious. This day has several mystical sayings specific to Slovak folklore. One example is the removal of fat from ham to ensure protection against snakebite and speed up healing of wounds. Another saying advises housewives not to wash their hands after dough kneading so that they can touch all the trees that are about to bring their first fruits or those that produced only a little. Some of these traditions are just very interesting and a little bizarre. An essential part of the day was the lighting of the Easter candle called Pascal. The fire from the Pascal candle should have the magical power to protect. According to the myth, you should run 3 times around the house with coal from the fire. It is supposed to protect your house from floods. Also, ash from the fire was scattered on winter cereals such as barley, rye, wheat, so that the storm could not destroy them. Holy Saturday was considered to be the right day for planting. That is the reason why in some parts of Slovakia around cakes were rolling along the field. Interesting. Okay, now we're getting into the meat of potatoes of Slovak Easter because it's typically is, Easter's the big day around the world for those that celebrate Easter. So in Slovakia for Easter Sunday, after Holy Saturday, all Christians celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, a symbol of victory over death. According to the old traditions, you should not cook or even cut with a knife. When the girl entered the church, she threw a coin through herself. It was supposed to bring her luck, and for the first time, they gave a well-ornated headband to the girl's head. On Easter Sunday, people bring prepared food to the church, where the food is consecrated by the priest. The food is later served as lunch, with the first course being an egg cut into pieces and divided amongst all present. The main course compromises meat and poultry. All food served ought to have been eaten to prevent the poor harvest. I gotta just say that the food that they're talking about that they would eat, that they would serve, I mean, it's the kind of food I like. I like, meat and eggs and some green veggies. Like that sounds like fairly healthy, fairly nutritious. Okay. So now Easter Monday is really where we get to the primary, maybe some people think it's shocking, the Slovak tradition. This is definitely unique to Slovakia. Maybe they do it in Czech Republic, but I don't imagine so because they're not really a Christian country. But this is where it gets more intense. Easter Monday, a day favored mainly by boys, is the most specific day of Easter in Slovakia. Indeed, only a couple of other countries can be proud of such a tradition as we Slovaks have. The boys go from house to house and seek girls and women who are soon to be whipped with a willow whip decorated with ribbons on its top. The whipping is accompanied by the poem recited by the boys. If you think it could not get any worse for the girls, you are mistaken. The next is splashing with cold water, and if they do not have enough water, a lake or pond is a solution. This tradition has its root in the belief that whipping and splashing cold water on girls and women will bring them health and beauty. Following the whipping and splashing, the boys receive a small present in the form of money, decorated egg, chocolate, and ribbon. The number of ribbons on a boy's whip testifies about his popularity amongst the girls. Okay, now so far from just reading that, I can definitely say that Easter Monday definitely sounds like it would be favored by the boys because it seems like they're getting a free pass to whip the girls, around their age, and then splash some water on them for like good health or for good measure, and then at the end of all that, then they get like a gift from the girls. So it sounds like the boys are excited for it, and girls maybe not so much. I don't know. Then in their conclusion, they say, if you're asking about a girl's opinion, they are not thrilled about that. But even worse is if boys miss her home or don't come. Oh, kind of sad. In some regions of Slovakia, the very next are the roles changed, meaning that girls won't owe boys anything. Interesting, okay. We hope that this article has you better to understand Slovak traditions, even though it may seem strange, cruel, or unacceptable for some. Those are the unique traditions transmitted from one generation to another. Naturally, anyone who engages in these traditions does so voluntarily. But in the end, we are proud of our traditions and we love to keep and spread them. Now, just from reading this, I would probably guess that it is a Western feminists one of their nightmares. Like they would not be so favorable to a tradition like this. But it seems like for those that are interested in it, like it sounds like it's just as good fun. Nothing too extreme. I mean, there's you whipping of the girl and like splashing water on her, so there's that. But as they said, it's voluntary. So now let's go ahead and talk to Adska and see what she thinks about the Slovak Easter.
Okay, here we are. I have Adska with me, the native Slovak, and I'm just gonna ask her a couple questions about the Slovak Easter traditions after I just went over them with that article. So, Adska, I have a couple questions for you. So the first one is, what activities are unique to a Slovak Easter compared to American Easter?
That's a good question because I know in America you're going for hunting, you're looking for eggs, and then you get your treats. And the kids they are really hyped because their parents like hide the eggs. But here, like I don't have experience with doing something like this. Like here, we kind of like keep it like the tradition about we painting eggs, but we just like give them like with money and treats. Like of course after they beat us and put like cold water on us, after that you just give them these things. I think it's different than in America because I think in America they don't give money, so that's maybe kind of different here. Also on first day it's a green first day, and I don't know if it's something like this in America, but we usually just eat like something green like spinach or something like that. And maybe on Easter when we like do these things, at least our family, we always have Mayor salad and rezne, something like what is in Christmas, so it's kind of nice.
Okay. One other thing real quick I wanted to ask was that so in the States with Easter, we primarily celebrate it on Sunday, so it's like Easter Sunday is like when we celebrate it, but it seems like in Slovakia it's Sunday and Monday. Like how true is that?
Yeah, we celebrate in a few days, that's true, because it's kind of like Christian
like a Christian holiday.
Yeah, so it's kind of really nice because kids are having a free day from school, like on the TV it's only fairy tales, and you just kind of feel like it's Easter, like the families are together, and it's really nice. It's something like a Christmas almost here.
Nice. Okay, and as for the last thing that I wanted to ask you, I just want to ask, after having read that article and going through like some of the things that it said towards the end between like girls and boys, what has been your experience with Slovak Easter?
I think my experience is nothing special about this. I always wake up on the bed with cold water on me, so my dad really likes when he can wake me up with cold water on the bed so everything is wet, or just he grab me and like we're going to bathroom and just like he start like putting like cold water like on me, so
really?
I'm like with clothes and hella wet. So
yeah,
I think it's coming something like this every morning on every year because he's like super hyped and super excited. He really loves this, so he he really enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of minus live with two boys because they both like enjoy it, of course. And after that, I'm like, oh wait, and I just want like change my clothes. I can't because they're start gonna beat me with garbage. It's kind of that homemade thing with wood or something else. Yeah, they start gonna beat me. They are not nice to me with this because they really enjoyed it. And after all of it, I just give them the sweets what they like. Sometimes I made something. Not eggs anymore because I'm kind of like not that child, but something really nice and sweet. And for my brother, of course, money because it's kind of like together. And then just like we watched fairy tales all day and just do nothing, just chilling.
And so this thing that your dad and your brother do, what the boys do to the girls, what is the meaning behind it, or what's the purpose?
It's just tradition. Also for women, when they men like put cold water on her and smack her, that means she will be healthy and beautiful. So that's why they do it, like the girls. And on the village, like the girls, they really enjoy it because they want to be pretty and healthy. And also they won't just get like money and sweets. So they need to do it.
Yeah.
It's just tradition, yeah.
So it's like tradition, and maybe like the girls who get this done to them like might even have like a sense of pride or something from it because like they were chosen by the boys.
Yeah. So like multiple boys just like do it this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what goes on for a Slovak Easter here in Slovakia. Let me know what you think of it, if you think it's kind of weird and not so modern, or if it sounds like it's good fun. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.